Biochemical substances and the manipulation thereof. I'm Matthew Knufke, and I'm going to be talking about the uses and manipulations of biochemicals in the past. By analyzing the historical context of biochemicals, we can perhaps see the future implications for them. During the course of this review of the past, we will be answering the question, how have biochemicals been manipulated before, and what were the benefits to them? Biochemistry is the study of the structure, composition, and chemical reactions of substances and living systems. It has deep roots in both early human societies and the entirety of the 20th century, as well as the present day. In our present day, we mainly see its usage in the medical field, but our earliest records of its usage are in warfare. Early societies would end up using biochemicals to their advantage in warfare. The first use of biochemicals in war dates to 600 BCE, in which the Athenian military poisoned the water supply when sieging the city of Kira. Biochemical warfare and biological warfare in general would be seen for the next roughly 2,000 years, like in the siege of Kaffa. As the 19th century came along, however, two individuals would be credited with mixing the fields of biology and chemistry. Those men are Justus von Liebig and Louis Pasteur. Liebig would establish his research at Gießen, a great teaching and researching laboratory, soon attracting students from all over Europe. Though Liebig and Pasteur would officially begin researching biochemistry, the term wasn't officially coined until 1903 by German chemist Karl Neuberg. Biochemistry's main destruction would come in the early 1900s during World War I. Biochemicals would not only go to injure soldiers during the war, but would also be responsible for roughly 100,000 deaths. While these are only the major highlights of biochemicals and biological warfare, their presence was high, especially after the events of World War I. The manipulation of biochemicals in World War I and other conflicts is a major reason toward the negative view of them. However, since the Geneva Convention outlawed their usage, we have begun to see the usage of biochemicals for good in fields such as microbiology, toxicology, chemistry, physiology, and pharmacology. The study of nucleic acid even mixed in with biochemistry when the famous work of Friedrich Sanger and Har-Gobind Karan did experiments that involved the unthinkable combination of enzymology and chemistry. This daring pursuit opened the door for molecular biology and the introduction of PCR. Though biochemicals are more prevalently seen in research, we can also find them in a variety of places, commonly in the body, being employed in the blood, digestive system, nutrition, metabolism, and even genetics. To demonstrate the wide range that biochemistry touches, take for instance the artificial sweetener that you put in your coffee, or perhaps the MSG found in your frozen dinner. These are both examples of biochemistry that you see constantly. But it is not only limited to food. Biochemicals are also found in gene therapy. Gene therapy is the transplantation of normal genes into cells in place of missing or defective ones in order to correct genetic disorders, which is used to treat specific medical conditions like cystic fibrosis or hemophilia. Biochemistry has a very complicated history. Many of its purposes have been used in war, but if we understand the potential harms and benefits of the research, then perhaps we can have a view of what the future may look like for them.
I'm Jared Fetbite, and I'll be discussing the contemporary issues of biochemicals and their uses. When addressing biochemical substances and their contemporary manipulation, there are multiple facets to consider. Biochemicals have been manipulated in such a way that allows them to have destructive properties that can physically harm and even kill humans. However, with this in mind, biochemicals have also been manipulated to change organisms such as food products that lead to a greater crop yield while simultaneously combating insects and crop diseases. Biochemical substances can be manipulated for productive purposes or destructive purposes and ultimately have had negative unintended consequences. Biochemicals have specifically been altered to create nerve agents that can kill people almost instantly. Some of the major stakeholders in biochemical substances such as this are assassins or those who wish to take out people of high interest. Politically, this could spell disaster. A very recent and specific example of this was the assassination of Kim Jong-nam, Kim Jong-un's brother. Kim Jong-nam was in Hong Kong and had a substance, which has now been identified as a VX nerve agent, smeared in his face by a pair of women. Minutes later, he ended up dead. The development of biochemical nerve agents is a somewhat frightful new reality. They are a nearly untraceable way of murdering someone and are very easily used, but they are hard to obtain. However, also has crucial cultural and global impacts. Everyone is still puzzled as to who hired the assassins that killed Kim Jong-nam. In reality, it makes you wonder if another attack like this will be in the near future on some person of interest. Another advancement in the manipulation of biochemical substances is the creation of biochemical substances that we can use for biochemical warfare. There are contemporary examples of these harmful biochemical substances. Not too long ago, there was a revolution in Syria due to the regime that rules in Syria. The rebels were making a breakthrough in defeating the regime until the regime got its hand on some certain biochemical substances. They ended up using a fairly well-known substance known as mustard gas. The regime was able to keep their political power and influence over the residents of Syria by engaging in biochemical warfare. This use of mustard gas is blatantly violating the codes established at the Geneva Convention. The biochemicals caused many innocent Syrians to die or become severely injured. Obviously, this makes big headlines worldwide. Also, it raises the questions about whether countries or organizations should intervene in instances like this. So far, only the negative outlooks on biochemical manipulations have been presented. But there is a more promising side to biochemical manipulation. Biochemicals can be manipulated in such a way that provides positive outcomes that can benefit the human race. A big topic in modern-day science is the influence and impact of GMOs, also known as genetically modified organisms. As of right now, crops are being genetically modified to resist mold and insects. This is a profitable new market for those who can genetically modify the crops, and is a new must-have for farmers. There are those who fear GMOs. But as of right now, GMO crops are not harmful to humans and can even offer more nutritious foods. Overall, biochemical manipulation has been primarily used to create harmful substances. However, our outlook should still be bright. GMOs offer a good example, and as science progresses, the things we may be able to biochemically manipulate may even serve us greater good. Although we must also discover a way to stop the harmful use of biochemically manipulated substances, find a good way to continue the research of positive biochemical manipulation. However, the question still looms over the human race. Just because we can make something, should we?
You ready?
My name is Emily Hess, and I will be reframing the issues with biochemicals for the future. Biochemical substances have been utilized for a long time in a variety of ways. Under manipulation, these substances have great promise to be socially beneficial, but also leave the possibility of harming society. An important question that is being asked is, what do these substances mean for the future? The negative effects of biochemical research are often the ones that are thought about and talked about the most. Terrorist attacks using chemical and biological agents could have catastrophic consequences on the population. The pathogens spread easily and are difficult to stop. Transmission through aerosols is particularly effective and could contribute to a widespread event. Scientists at Baylor University also fear that with the development of hybrid biological agents called chimera, which are highly virulent and resistant to antibiotics, that there could arise an epidemic without a cure. There is a study that was conducted by the Federal University of Lavras in Brazil looking at substances that can detoxify specific agents. This could pose a possible solution in the event of a widespread chemical event, but the study is still theoretical. Another fear surrounding this science stems from politics. Individuals that use biochemical substances in order to gain political power or further their own agendas could potentially cause devastating loss to population, but also contribute to the instability of other nations. In 2017, an ex-Russian spy and his daughter were poisoned at their home in London by the Russian government using a toxic nerve agent. The agent was administered externally and caused both people to suffer respiratory and cardiac arrest. This caused a large commotion as UK officials scrambled to make sure that this agent wasn't spread to the other people nearby or tracked around the city. The insensitivity of the government attempting to further their own agenda could have had drastic consequences on the population, the peaceful relations between the two governments, and also the future of biochemical science. If a catastrophic event occurred, what would have been the repercussions? Could selfish political and economic goals continue to shape biochemical science in the future? Despite having a few negative connotations, biochemistry has also been investigated throughout history with positive effects. Louis Pasteur was a scientific pioneer in the 1800s that applied chemistry to the study of biology, and he made incredible discoveries. His pasteurization method helped prevent the spread of bacteria through milk, and he helped develop a rabies vaccine, which has saved the lives of countless individuals. The development of vaccines, like the rabies vaccine, is a positive outcome of the exploration of biochemical substances. However, recently people have been moving towards anti-vaccination without recognizing how important these vaccines really are. By not vaccinating children, there have been epidemics of diseases like measles that could have been prevented. If people continue to resist vaccinating their children for fear that these biochemicals could cause other problems, it could mean that the population will experience a steep decline. People fear that their children will get autism from vaccines instead of fearing what matters: their children could die. While vaccines are one positive outcome from biochemical substances, a recent study has hypothesized the use of fish slime as a source for potential new antibiotics. The slime that coats young fish is surprisingly resistant to bacteria like the microbes that cause MRSA infections. With modern antibiotics becoming rapidly less effective against disease, fish slime could prove to bridge the gap between the present biomedical science and a healthier future. So what does this all mean? Biochemicals and the study of them are vital to modern society. The advancement of biochemicals in medicine has already yielded many advances and could result in better antibiotics that are more resistant to diseases. But the development of biochemicals in warfare could result in Armageddon if selfish ambitions remain pivotal to the way nations make decisions. In the end, it comes down to science versus society. Will people be able to accept the importance of furthering this research, even if there is also a fear that it could be misused by individuals with their own agenda?